Alright, so what we have here is the LG V60 ThinQ 5G dual screen. I haven't yet to put my SIM card in here. I'm going to today, so let's do some speed tests before we get into all that business. So let's just check. I know we'll download it fast.com. Oh. Fast.com over here, and then let's just do speed test over here. So this is on my Wi-Fi, which should be faster than that. I have Spectrum for my Wi-Fi, so Spectrum can be a little shitty, as you probably know. And yeah, I mean, I should be getting like 400 something, but I've run these tests before. They're not very scientific, but it's still interesting. So this is the T-Mobile REVVLRY Plus. My son uses. Also, side note, let's get to a white screen. You can see how they did their like notch, and this did like the essential phone notch. I kind of like this notch better, even though it's technically smaller, but it just seems more noticeable how sharp the edges are. And like this little rounded notch, not very noticeable. Anyhow, so let's go. Oh yeah, so as you can see, I did previously have the T-Mobile Note 10 Plus 5G. I currently have the regular Note 10 Plus, which is I'm recording this on. The 5G one, I had a lot of problems with battery life and GPS. That was kind of early in the world of GPS, or world of 5G for T-Mobile. I'm hoping this late into the game they've worked some of those kinks out, but we'll see. Let's do another Wi-Fi test. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Oh, yeah, there we go. Alright, so as I was saying, the REVVLRY is also on my Wi-Fi. Let's do a speed test on it. Alright, so let's just give it another shot. This is the REVVLRY Plus, right? My Wi-Fi, my provider is Spectrum. My Wi-Fi router is a Google Wi-Fi, and it is this way, probably about 20 feet. I am in my basement, and I have tons of shit piled over here that would not be conducive to good Wi-Fi signals. So that could impact it. Plus, my wife and daughter are watching the Tiger King on Netflix upstairs, and I'm sure my other son is also doing some nonsense on the internet, so that would get you a little difference in speed, but you can see they're pretty close here, so it's really more of an impressive showing for the REVVLRY than for the anything special about the T-Mobile, the LG V60. Alright, so now we're doing pretty good here. So obviously these are the same phone, just with the dual screen attachment. Alright, now I've turned Wi-Fi off, and this device is now on LTE. So let's go again. This is on my T-Mobile service. I'm in Louisville, Kentucky. We usually have pretty good service in Louisville. The REVVLRY, of course, is not a 5G phone. It's a 4G phone. Anywhere from 20 to 60 is a pretty good standard speed in this where I'm at. Now again, I am in my basement, and of course everyone's home, so I don't know if that's making more data usage or less data usage with the COVID-19 pandemic destroying the world, right? Alright, so let's do another speed test here. And just for shits and giggles, let's do another Wi-Fi test here. So we're getting better here. I may just be damaging my... Well, I guess this was off the Wi-Fi now too, so... Alright, so we've got 51 down. Yeah, first one was 20 something, I guess, and now we're at 51 down, so that's pretty good. For the REVVLRY. So now I'm going to switch to recording this on the REVVLRY and using the Note 10 Plus which currently has the T-Mobile SIM in there. So let me stop the video and switch over. Alright, so I'm recording this now on the T-Mobile REVVLRY, which so the camera quality won't be as good as it was previously, but it's all for the purpose of this video. So these are Wi-Fi speed on the LG V60 ThinQ 5G with the dual screen, right? This is my Note 10 Plus, not the 5G version. So let's just do a regular Wi-Fi test. Let's just see where we stack up. So it is crushing the Wi-Fi speeds compared to these other ones. Let's just see if I get any difference here. So yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I don't know. Again, this is not a scientific test whatsoever. Every time I post these videos, people leave me comments about installing all these apps and all that shit. I don't want to do that. I just want to test it like I would in the real world. If I was home, I would just pop this up and I would test it. I wouldn't go through all the detailed diagnostics. I would just run a test and see where my speed was at, right? So, this is leading me to believe that maybe there's a better Wi-Fi antenna in the Note 10 Plus. Which is odd because the Note 10 came out in 2019 and this was just released in 2020. Or it could have been a fluke. Although I will say I consistently get strong performances from the Note 10 Plus. This is one of the best phones, probably the best phone I've ever owned. We'll see if this new LG can top it. Alright, so it's pretty obvious that this is getting strong Wi-Fi speeds. Let's turn the Wi-Fi off. So I am strictly on LTE right now. Let's go back. And again, this is the 4G Note 10 version, not the 5G version. And let's just see what we test at. We'll do 2 tests. Maybe 3, I guess, to get back on track. If you remember, the REVVLRY that I'm recording on now got like 20 something and then 50 something. So right out the gate, we're at 52. Those are strong numbers. You're never gonna have problems with the 52 in using the phone. You're never gonna be like, oh shit, 52 is garbage speeds, right? It's pretty solid. And 10 up, also very solid. All right, so let's do one more. Again, this is obviously a T-Mobile signal. I am in Louisville, Kentucky. This is the basement of my house. And my son has a metal plate in his head. It could be deflecting. So now we're up to 66. These are really good speeds for 4G. I don't believe I don't even know if I'll be on 5G in this house. And with the coronavirus, we're not going to get out and test it, but we'll just see. But let me go ahead and do another test on the Wi-Fi here, since nothing's doing a Wi-Fi speed test now. We got to 389 on here. All right, so now we have 2 solid tests here. Let me take the SIM card out of here. So this is the all-white Note 10 Plus with the white S Pen. And I can't recommend this phone enough. It's a top-notch phone. I don't have any problems with it, really. I just wanted to give LG a shot because I haven't tried it out in a long time. Every time I've left a Samsung phone with the OnePlus or Moto series or anything like that, I always come right back to Samsung. It's really my ideal phone. But, like I said, I was interested in trying this out. I'm just taking the same SIM that was in here, and I'm going to put it into the LG. Alright, so we're back to recording on the Note 10 Plus. We'll have the REVVLRY here, so let's go ahead and just run another speed test on the REVVLRY, just because you can see obviously it was getting faster speeds than the lower speeds than the Note 10. So this phone is still on. In case you're wondering how this comes out, you really just kind of pop that off, and then the screen is off. You can set that aside, and this is just the actual LG V60. So I'm gonna power it off. Power it off, and I'm just gonna use the same SIM that was in my Note. So a little double tray there, right, for a micro SD card. I will not be using a micro SD card. It's got 128 gigs. That's pretty much enough, I think. Nice tight tray. It holds it in there nicely. I like that. Alright, so now we're back in. This is just the phone itself. There's the old LG V60. Still on Wi-Fi. Let me turn my Wi-Fi off. So now we're on LTE. Let me do a software update because I haven't. This is the first time I've had the SIM card in here. Let's see if there's any system updates. There is not. So let's do a. Let me clear all these out. Do a speed test. And again, so we're on T-Mobile. And it does say 5G there. So we'll see. And it does say 5G up top here. Now, if we're actually going to get 5G speeds, we'll see. But it does say 5G. So that was a problem. I made a video with the Note 10 Plus 5G, and I didn't realize until after the fact I was only getting LTE speeds. I knew I was only getting LTE speeds. So it was only flashing LTE down here. So you can tell right off the bat that's not great. The speeds were much better on LTE with the Note 10. And even with the REVVLRY, so here it says LTE, you can see right there it says LTE, and here it says 5G. So we're getting drastically better speeds in LTE. Now it's showing LTE. So this was my concern when I had the Note 10 Plus 5G, was that I didn't know that 5G was really ready to go. I know everyone's trying to get those shit sold faster. If they'd had a 4G only version of this phone, I would have bought that, which is really what helped me off from the the S20. So let me go ahead and put the dual screen back on, in case you're wondering. So it just has a little USB port there. There's no real magic to it. You just kind of slide it in and it works. And then you get this button to turn on the dual screen. And we'll go to the apps here, and I should have fast.com here. Now still I'm only on 5G. And you can tell the speeds are not great still. This is not a good showing. Those aren't bad, I guess. I mean, it's much better than I was getting a minute ago. Well, I don't know if they're 5. It doesn't tell me on here if they're 5G or not. Let's see if I can show more info. At least it's the better speed. Well, let's give it a shot again. So here it does say 5G. So there is 5G in Louisville, which is where I'm at. I don't know if it's, oh, there we go. So now we're getting higher speeds. So that's pretty good. So maybe it was just slow to kick off. Maybe it was the first time it connected to a tower. Who knows? But again, you're really not gaining anything. Certainly in my town, I'm not gaining anything by going to 5G. I mean, I should be getting better connectivity. That's really the goal, I guess. When I recently bought the 5G Note 10 Plus version, which I returned because I had a lot of problems with it. The goal was I travel for work, so I wanted that better connectivity with 5G, not the speeds per se. Let's give it another one. Here, another go, shall we? Because we're getting better speeds each time. Still shows 5G. This is obviously 4G. So here's the thing. We're getting inconsistent speeds on 5G. And we're getting very consistent speeds on 4G. And of course you can close these things out. And if you look at your results, so you can see it says 5G here, LTE there, 5G, 5G. We'll do one more test. And then we'll just kind of leave it at that, I guess. So again, we're in the middle of the coronavirus pandemic, obviously, so I'm not going around town testing different areas. I probably wouldn't anyhow, but I might wait a couple days and run some more tests and see if I can get any better results out of this thing. But again, these are not bad speeds. You're not going to have any problem doing anything you really want to do on there. And that 74 was stellar, right? So we get more of that, we're doing pretty good. But alright, so I got a bunch of videos on this phone. We have an unboxing. I set my Samsung watch up to it, and obviously this one's a speed test. So let me know if you have any questions. I'm trying it out. We're going to see if I keep it. I got 20 days for my return windows up, so just let me know what you think. Alright, so we're going to try screen recording again. And I'm in Louisville still, but I'm at the car dealership. Kid got a nail in their tire, so we had to get that replaced. I tested it earlier, but it didn't seem any more impressive than my house, or maybe even less impressive than my house. I'm just recording the screen at this point because I'm obviously here by myself. And bring two phones for this trip. It's fascinating that the upload is so much stronger. But again, so these aren't impressive speeds, but they're solid speeds. No one's complaining about these kind of speeds, right? They're not gonna, I mean, people on Reddit will bitch about it probably, but alright, let's give it another shot. I do like the screen recording feature. Samsung has that as well. Now Samsung has settings where you can choose to record your voice from the microphone or not, or just the audio from the screen. So I did not see those options here. So, fairly consistent speeds here. I am probably, I don't know, 5 miles from my house. So, we're not really super far anyhow. But, again, I'm not making a lot of trips nowadays. So, let's see, I can see my results. So, that 931 was also at the same location. The 54 one was at my home. The 9 a.m. one was at my house. And then the 9:36 a.m. one here. I actually can't see that. That one was at the same dealership. So, interesting, the download speeds have gone down at this location. Alright, we'll check back in and wrap this thing up. Alright, it's not much, it's only like a minute later, but we're going to try again. I'm definitely not doing this while driving. That would not be safe, and surely you don't want to do that. But, I mean, if you're wondering what it's like if you were going along a road and testing your speed, this could be a representation of that. Alright, pretty consistent. I'm driving by an AT&T store. Alright, let's try again. So probably gone far enough to switch towers at this point, maybe. I don't know. I don't know where T-Mobile towers are in my area. Alright, let's give it another go now a little further to see if we pick up a different area. I don't really know. Like I said, I don't know how far the towers reach here or where they are located. Now that is some good speeds. So there's an apartment building over here, so if you live in this apartment building that you can't see, you're getting some pretty stellar speeds. Not so good an upload speed. Alright, a little further. So I'm sure I'll get a comment saying I should use some app to tell you what band I'm on, but this is more of a real world usage. I mean, I'm literally in the real world because I'm driving home from a location, and I would, assuming I was in the passenger seat, I would be using my phone. And so these kind of speeds would be very important to me. Alright, we'll do one more. I'm getting fairly close to my home, so we'll do one more to give it a little test. And by a lot of trees right here, so that could be, I would assume, impacting the signal. Semi making an illegal turn. Alright, so again, nothing earth-shattering there, but fairly solid all around. Nothing, I mean, that could be better, certainly. 4 is pretty low, I guess, but we'll see how it goes. I just drove by Waffle House. It says they're still open for takeout orders. So if you have a Waffle House near you, go support Waffle House, because Waffle House is the best. Alright, so you can see it's 12:30 a.m. I'm on 5G. Back at my house now. We'll do our final speed test here. Still shows 5G here. So pretty consistent. You can see the batteries are 14%. I've had this phone off the charger since 6:30 a.m., maybe 6 a.m. It's now 12:30, and I've been fairly busy with it, so I'm still pretty impressed with the battery life. The phone itself it's a little thick, so that takes some getting used to. Alright, so again, nothing crazy there. You can see I got some 55s and 59s on 5G. Every test is pretty much 5G. If you look at my old Samsung Note 10 Plus 5G video, a lot of time it would dip down to LTE, but we're on 5G pretty much every time except for this one here. I guess here too, right? So, but the majority of them are 5G, right? You can see some Wi-Fi testing there. But, you know, fairly stellar. I think the lowest I ever got was like 3 or 4. And that was just, I don't think I was driving when I tested that. Like the 6 maybe. I was definitely driving, I think, that time. So, again, with the quarantine on traveling, so I'm not getting around, but I've never had any connection issues. And I get fairly good speed tests every time I test it. So, the 5G on this version is much improved than it was back when I had the Note 10 Plus 5G. This is the LG V60, of course, on T-Mobile. So this gives me hope that future phones will be a lot better. And if, you know, the corona apocalypse ends and I travel, I probably will take this phone with me because it gets such a solid 5G connection. Again, you know, this is T-Mobile's. It's not the Verizon super fast, it's just the more consistent. And all those kind of bounced around. Still pretty good speeds. I'd be comfortable with any of those speeds, really. Alright, thanks for checking me out.